Welcome to Flickering Myth Gaming's 7-Day Replay. I'm your host this week, Alan Christian, and joining me as always is Mr. Gerald James. Say hello, Gerald.
Hello, Gerald.
We've got a smattering of news. Some of it not so good.
All of it's bad.
Some of it's good. Let's start with the down note. Bobby Kotick's a piece of shit.
No one's surprised there.
No one is surprised. Could you possibly be shocked that the man that runs Activision is a terrible human being?
Everyone tried playing it off that this was all on the Blizzard side, but nope, guess what?
Oh, God, no. No. That comes from the top. That comes from the very top. I don't want to go into details because some of them are upsetting, and also it's all over the place. But, the most important thing here is that both Sony and Xbox are reevaluating their relationship with Activision. So I think you're going to have to see some heavy restructuring of Activision. Probably a whole new board, definitely a new CEO. And things are going to have to change. At this point, no one wants to do business with them. They're a terrible company anyway, just on their face. Business practices in general. So, no tears shed here. But I would be interested to see what maybe a new Activision could be.
Yeah, it's interesting for that alone.
Yes. In talking about terrible companies, Rockstar. Not as bad of a company. Let's not put them on the same level.
That we know of.
That we know of. But Rockstar has acknowledged that the release of the Grand Theft Auto trilogy, the definitive edition. Oh my God. Saying some of these game titles, especially like re-releases and stuff, just makes you feel like you don't know the English language very well. After the immense failure of these remasters, they broke the games. They broke the games. I've literally played Vice City several months ago, and it was a better experience than anything that I've seen from this. They have announced that they are putting the old ones back on the Rockstar launcher, back in the Rockstar store, the original versions, and anybody that bought the definitive edition on PC is going to get these games for free. So,
bare minimum achieved.
Yes. Here's some non-broken versions of the games you bought. Sure, it's the 20-year-old versions of them, but they work.
And to be fair, they have said they're working to make the definitive editions play properly.
That is true. They did say that they are committed to working on them, but they chalked it up to unforeseen technical problems. They knew what this game looked like before it came out. They knew what they were launching. I'm tired of this horseshit excuse. Every time something comes out broken, you get somebody saying they were unforeseen technical problems. No, they foresaw them. They saw them. They looked at this game. Executives at Rockstar and Take-Two looked at this pile of shit and said, fuck it, launch it.
Listen to your QAs, guys.
Yes. But that's who these people are. They looked at this broken game. It's not. There are certain things that, yes, once they get out into the market, you will notice more bugs. There will always be things that got missed. And even if it was bad net code or something like that, maybe you weren't able to stress test that. They knew how broken this game was, though. This is none of those things. These aren't offhand bugs that maybe QA missed or maybe QA reported but they didn't have the time to fix, or other things were more of a priority. These games were broken.
Definitive.
Anyway, so once again, Never pay full price for a game. Always wait until it's fixed and half price. In more uplifting news, sort of. There's a bit of a negative slant to this one, but mostly uplifting. Microsoft has had a hell of a week. Go figure. They launched the Halo Infinite multiplayer beta, and people seem to be really enjoying that. Mm-hmm. So that's a win. That's most of Halo Infinite already out. So there you go. Go play it. Also this week, Microsoft dropped.
Yeah.
It's all at the same time. 76 backwards compatible titles from over the span of Xbox past. These include titles like the entire Max Payne trilogy. Gerald wanted me to mention Beautiful Katamari.
Yeah!
I love a good Katamari game. What's beautiful about it?
Just the title.
Cool. The Fear trilogy.
Yeah.
I don't think you can buy the first one, if I recall. But you can pop a disc in and play it, and you can buy the other ones. And of course, 50 Cent, Blood on the Sand. Which is what we've all been waiting for.
I want my skull back.
He wants his skull back. But at the same time, they also announced that they are no longer pursuing backwards compatibility. Which I think there might be some, like, people might have misunderstood that, in that, like, they don't care about backwards compatibility anymore. But that's not what this statement is. They obviously still care about backwards compatibility. They've put a lot of effort into it. All of their first-party stuff, pretty much, I think, is backwards compatible. The Series X is completely backwards compatible with the One, barring maybe a few, technical issues with a few games. I don't know. But what they were mostly saying with this statement is that working with these companies to get things to be backwards compatible, to get them on storefronts, to update them, to do all this stuff, is a miserable headache, is what I got from that statement. That's fair?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's many that are left that have been missed.
Yeah, they've done a really good job. Mm-hmm. And probably the things that they haven't got at this point are things that they can't get for these reasons. They mentioned technical reasons, and that may be true for one or two titles. But, yeah, you've done good, Microsoft. You've done much better than any of us ever expected, to be honest, especially since when the Xbox One launched, they said they weren't even worried about backwards compatibility. Mm-hmm. So, full 180, done a great job.
When the Series X launched, they said that they were already done with the backwards compatibility list.
Yeah.
So, this was a surprise.
Yeah. That is true. They had mentioned that before, and then they dropped 76 games on us with some real bangers in there.
Yeah.
Some real bangers. Everybody loves Blood on the Sand. Def Jam Vendetta?
It's not on there.
Damn. I like games with rappers in them. And, of course, the other big thing this week, maybe the biggest, depending on who you are. Not if you're me. But the Game Awards announced their nominees this week. We're not going to go over all of them here, obviously. We're not even going to go over most of them. Just a few notable things. The things that have been making the rounds, as it were. Of course, you got Game of the Year. My Game of the Year made this list. Metroid Dread.
Yeah.
Look at that. It's a thin year.
When the stuff we like pops up on the list,
it's thin. Not that I don't think Metroid Dread deserves to be here. I obviously do. It's just that me and the Game Awards never align. Like, I was shocked that my Game of the Year last year was nominated at all with Doom Eternal. So this is cool. It won't win. Dread won't. But, that's fine.
Maybe.
It might.
Maybe.
I think it deserves it. I'll be shocked if it does, though.
It's not going to Deathloop. Come on.
Deathloop. We got Ratchet and Clank, Rift Apart. Psychonauts 2 is on there.
Mm-hmm.
It Takes Two.
It Takes Two!
Which is Gerald's game of the year. And there was one more.
Nothing important.
Nothing important. Might have been a game of the year. It's a game of the year contender, but we can't remember it. God. What was it? It was Resident Evil Village, guys.
Who cared?
Yeah. Odd, because even some of the most like hardcore Resident Evil fans that I've seen didn't care much for it. I mean, I didn't see a lot of hate, but I didn't see a lot of love either. Let us know if you liked Resident Evil Village in the comments below. Cyberpunk 2077, which is maybe the most hyped game of all time.
Yeah.
I'm sure it probably won a hype award or two at the Game Awards. The game that for 2 years or 3 years or however long we've been talking about games on the internet, Gerald James, I've been saying that people, shouldn't have been so hyped for.
Mm-mm.
But
it's gonna be the game to end all games.
Yeah, game to end all games. And I was an asshole for thinking otherwise. It walks away with 2 nominations. One, Best RPG, which is it even an RPG? I mean, it's certainly not the best, but is it even an RPG? Like, that, I think, is more debatable than it being best anything. I mean, yeah, there's RPG elements, but what doesn't have RPG elements?
Yeah, it's like seriously, you take away dialogue options, you're Far Cry.
Right? Like, yeah. So, I don't think it deserves that one. I think there were other things that people have enjoyed that are definitely RPGs that probably could have slotted into this. Like Neo, The World Ends With You. I think people really enjoy that.
Oh, it's going to Shin Megami Tensei 5.
I'd hope so.
Yeah.
That game looks great. I might even get around to playing it.
You won't.
I probably won't, but I might buy it. Its other nomination was for Best Score, and I've seen people be a little upset about even that. Saying that this game doesn't deserve any nominations for what they did to people.
They deserve a nomination for the one thing they did right.
Yes. One, if you're in the camp of thinking that they don't deserve this nomination, I'll go you one better. They deserve this award.
Yeah.
Because, one, it's a really good soundtrack. Two, these composers do not work for CD Projekt Red. Mm-hmm. They did perfectly great work and had nothing to do with this game being a broken piece of shit. So, 100% on board for this award. Normally, this is where we announce upcoming games, but there really isn't anything this week. It's really rare. I mean, there are things that are coming out, obviously, you can go look them up, but nothing that really caught our eye. Death's Door is coming to everything now. It's coming to Switch and the PlayStation consoles and the PC. Was it on the PC already? Yeah, it was already on the PC. So, Switch and PlayStation, Death's Door. Nominated for Best Indie Game, I think, at the Game Awards this year. Deserves it.
Yeah?
Certainly the nomination. I don't know about the award. I haven't played every indie game. But Death's Door, very good. And you can buy it if you couldn't already. There you go. That's all we got this week for new game releases.
That's it.
We were going to do that Final Fantasy one until we double-checked and realized that got delayed. Thanks for joining us, guys. We should be back on a mostly weekly schedule now. I think... No? Gerald's telling me no. So we'll see you next